Yo, 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 this is your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped in the back here with another Division 2 video. And this is going to be part of that three-piece series that I've been running. So this is my new three-piece in a biscuit for PvE slash PvP, but this is not a PvP build at all. This is strictly for fast running Dark Zone. So if you are a Dark Zone player and you want to run Dark Zone, you want to get in and out of those control points faster, or should I say in and out of those landmarks faster, this is the build to do it. Okay, so I want you to just go ahead and take it all in and get everything that you want out of each one of your builds that you put together. I'm starting off with brand sets. I'm working on Providence. This is my second video for Providence defense that I've been working on as far as three pieces go. You can take a look at the video I made yesterday for three-piece Providence. It was actually pretty doggone fun. I had some times where I went down in a mission and things like that for obvious reasons. I'm not really wearing any armor, and these NPCs, I decided to do it on heroic. I could have did it on challenging and probably would have had a better go at it, but I didn't want to just do it on challenging. I feel like my test, if I can clear a room on heroic or something like that, that would be a better gauge of what I can expect from the rest of the content that I want to do. So if I can do it on heroic or even legendary, I can use the build on even heroic or legendary, that it is viable for a lot more than just PvE. Like, I took the build last night and I took it to conflict. Oh my god. Yeah, that build's a monster. That's a Frankenstein monster waiting to happen. And I love builds where people do not know what's going on or what's up with it. How did you make this build? Where was your mind frame at when you made this build? I have made some hybrids that hit harder than our all red builds, just for the simple fact is I utilize certain aspects of the build to make it even stronger than any other build out there. Okay, so always remember that building builds in this game is a numbers game. That's it. That's all. As long as you have the numbers game at your disposal, it's fine. If you have any idea of what I'm talking about, then you are going to have an amazing time on this game. But if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about as being a numbers game, you are going to get annihilated because you're not taking the time to utilize their brand set bonuses, nor your attribute bonuses, or any of the skill bonuses that you can get from your skills. Okay, like I utilize my turret and drone with this build to make it it's pretty much a 3 on 12 at this point instead of a 1 on 12. Now, of course, there are builds out there where you can go ahead and put on defender drone and a healer hive or a decoy and things like that, and you can survive just as well. Like but you need so much awareness with builds like that because you kind of constantly keep panning your camera and things like that to see where NPCs are running to or are. You have to have your headphones on. You have to listen to hear if you hear footsteps behind you, around you, and stuff like that, so you can kind of converge on the enemy and things like that when you are running builds that require you only to have a gun and you don't have any backup. Especially solo players, we tend to not have backup in situations. I take on 4-man groups all the time and with all their bonuses, so I know. All right, let's get right into this build. The Ouroboros that I'm holding in my hand, it was not the gun that I was using. I was using the St. Elmo's, but I switched to this. I had to switch to this because I ran out of assault rifle ammo. This build can run out of ammo if you are in a situation where you are constantly having to fire your weapon, but the only way you run out of ammo is by not moving around. And with this build, you can move around. I wouldn't advise moving around too much because this build requires you to stay in place. On the backpack of Wyvern, I have companion, so I have to stay within 5 meters of my skill or 3 meters of my skill. As long as I'm there, I can do an extra 15% weapon damage. I'm running 3-piece Providence, which you know comes with skill damage. I'm not skill damage, crit chance, and weapon damage, and headshot damage. So all the 3 major damage cores are there. So if you want to know something, I'm also running with perfect glass cannon. I run with the sacrifice, which gives me 30% amplified damage to all damage that I deal, and I take in 60% of that damage as well if I get hit. So that's the reason why a lot of times you'll see me go down in certain situations. Now, I want to give you a heads up. I'm running with a Pocara's holster, Grupo Sombra knee pads, just because I want a little bit more utility on this build. I'm running with a 6 and 2. I have six skill tiers, and I have 2 weapon damage cores. So this makes this build a unique and fascinating build to run, for the simple fact is I can do a lot of damage and I can make a lot of moves with this build that I normally couldn't do. And I love it. I'm not going to even lie. I love this build. This is one of my favorite builds to run now. I do believe I'm going to keep this in my loadout just for farming purposes only, just to have it in my loadout. I'm going to try to find this build at level 30 so I can have a level 30 loadout for this build, because I believe if I have a level 30 loadout for this build, this can be beneficial to me. So one of these days I'm just going to get a character and I'm just going to constantly loop him until I get to what I want. But there's a problem with that is I'm going to level up, so it's gonna have to be one of those chance encounters that I get this build a certain way, that way I can run it that way. I'm gonna have to switch some of the pieces from being Providence defense maybe to maybe even Wyvern or either Murakami, things like that. So we'll see how this works out. I'm not sure exactly if it's going to work out the way I want it to, because I want one at level 30, because I can literally run through the dark zone with and content with that build just by staying in cover and getting a bunch of stuff done. Now, to just give you a heads up, I'm going to be doing these builds over and over and over again when it comes to putting out content. And the content that I'm about to put out is informational. There have been a lot of changes to the brand sets and gear sets and talents in the game, and I want to make sure that I get and give shine to each and every one of them. We have a lot of brand sets to go through, and we're going to go through them in a timely fashion, I promise you. These last 2 videos were Providence defense, and the next videos will probably be Richter and Kaiser, Walker and Harris, Overlord armaments, 511, Seska, Yao gear, Palisade Steelworks. I'm also going to be doing what's the other one? Not Palisade, not just Palisade Steelworks, Braza de Acabus, the new brand set, Zed, as they call it. Not Zed, but the one with the perfect, not the perfect talent, but yeah, the named gloves with weapon handling. I do have something for that, and I believe that would be monstrous too once I put it all together. So I got some monstrous things in the works for you all as far as 3 pieces go. Some of it's going to be ran with exotics that pair well with them, and some of it's going to be ran with just regular easy peasy lemon squeezy stuff. Now, if I use the Ninja backpack, can I get more out of those builds? Absolutely. But do I want to get more out of those builds right now when I'm trying to showcase the brand sets themselves? No. So we're going to stick with just showing off the brand sets themselves with their three-piece talents. So I'm going to use improvised pieces in those slots. I may use an exotic just to have something like utility, maybe even some survivability and things like that. But it really depends on how I figure it out, because I have some crazy ideas for incoming repairs, and then I'm going to, after I'm done with the brand sets, I'm going to go into gear sets. I'm going to go into all the gear sets, their functions, how to apply their talents, and how to make their talents yours. Like, there are several builds out there, and there are several gear sets where we can have some amazing, amazing damage, some amazing survivability, and some of the stuff that I run can give you ideas on how to mix and match things, because I love a good hybrid. I love a good, this is not supposed to be used for this, but this works. I love stuff like that. That makes me happy to see different builds when I go up against somebody in conflict or the dark zone. It's really like a chess game versus a checker game, because there's so many different aspects to this game. This is the reason why this game is probably one of my favorite games I've ever played. And I've been gaming a while. I've played Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed. I've even played some Call of Duty from time to time. I played, what else have I played? I played a lot of stuff. I played Destiny. I'm not a real big Xbox person, so I didn't get into the Halo series at all. That wasn't my thing. That wasn't my jam. I'm just saying. But that's neither here nor there. I appreciate you all coming in and joining me and everything. I want you to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. Please help me get to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to stay frosty out there, agents, and I'll see you in the next one.